The Ripple versus SEC litigation has been the subject of several critiques and analyses. The comments mentioned how Ripple had fought the SEC in court and preserved more than 60 alternative currencies. Mid-July, XRP skyrocketed to 95 cents, but is $1 realistic? However, the focus of our video today is on revealing the reality behind the unsettling query on everyone's mind. Even though Ripple has fought valiantly thus far, what happens if things don't work out? If Ripple loses the legal action, would the cryptocurrency XRP still exist? So grab your popcorn and enjoy. Welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is the first time you are watching one of our videos, we send you a special welcome. We invite you to click the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are going to announce that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To have the chance to participate, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment with the hashtag XRP. The winner will be announced on December 15th. Bill Morgan, an attorney, commented on the recent Stoner Cat settlement with the SEC and highlighted the possible implications for the cryptocurrency business. SC2 reached a settlement after paying $1 million in fines for marketing unregistered crypto asset securities and generating $8.2 million through NFT sales. Although agreements like these don't create a precedent, they show the SEC's growing participation in the cryptocurrency industry. Although these agreements do not set a precedent, they slowly help the SEC regulate cryptocurrency. Imagine if Ripple and other businesses did not take the SEC to court. With the exception of Bitcoin, every token would by default be a security. It's a good thing Ripple battled and won one token. Chief Legal Officer of Ripple Labs Incorporated Stuart Alderete questioned the SEC's strategy and practically all regulatory actions. Alderete emphasized that agreements reached to avoid the arduous SEC procedure without admitting guilt bear no legal weight. However, he did not specifically name the Stoner Cat's case. He asserted that the SEC frequently loses legal battles against it. Morgan's remark emphasizes how much Ripple's partial success affected cryptocurrency laws. He noted the fact that without Ripple's battle against the SEC, most cryptocurrencies, except Bitcoin, might have been seen as securities. This is a noteworthy viewpoint. Similarly, John Deaton has also argued that Ripple will never settle with the SEC, as their victory would be a win for both the crypto industry and ordinary individuals aspiring to join this innovative field. Former federal prosecutor James K. Fillon and Bill Morgan both agreed that SEC's heavy-handed approach had crushed crypto. They argue that the regulatory body, unfamiliar with the market, is more of a hindrance than a safeguard. They commend Ripple for fighting and securing a not-securities classification for its token, XRP. XRP is currently trading at 49 cents, ditching its 30-day mark of 50 cents. Since 2017, the SEC has been exerting pressure on the crypto industry. SEC Chair Gary Gensler's stance that only Bitcoin falls outside their regulatory scope suggests that all other altcoins could be considered securities. To date, the SEC has categorized more than 60 crypto assets as securities in various lawsuits against crypto companies. However, in the case of Ripple Labs, a federal court ruled that XRP, the sixth largest cryptocurrency, isn't a security. While the SEC accepted this classification, they're pursuing an interlocutory appeal regarding Ripple's programmatic sales and other distributions. Hence, the recent court ruling on XRP dealt a blow to the SEC's attempt to label all altcoins as securities. Furthermore, earlier this summer, XRP looked like it was ready to skyrocket in value. But just how likely is that now? In mid-July, XRP looked like it was easily going to soar past the $1 mark. Buoyed by news of a positive court ruling in its long-running lawsuit with the Securities and Exchange Commission, XRP skyrocketed in price from 48 cents to 95 cents. For crypto investors, XRP was on a rocket ship headed to the moon. But not so fast. This is the crypto market we're talking about, and volatility is the norm rather than the exception. The SEC has since said it plans to appeal the court ruling, and the legal process now looks like it's far from being over. As a result, XRP has given up all of its summer gains and is now trading under 50 cents, the same level it was trading at back in July. So can XRP rally once again this year in order to hit the psychologically important $1 price point? The ability of XRP to hit the $1 mark depends, to a large degree, on how the lawsuit with the SEC plays out. There are a number of different outcomes possible here. For example, the judge who ruled in favor of XRP might throw out the appeal from the SEC entirely, handing XRP a victory of sorts. Or Ripple Labs, the company behind the XRP crypto token, and the SEC might come to a mutual settlement simply in order to bring closure to a lawsuit that has been dragging on since December 2020. What's frustrating, if you're an XRP investor, is that the core business at the heart of the XRP token is a sound one. That business involves Ripple, a blockchain-based digital payment network that can be used for everything from sending remittances overseas and settling cross-border payments to transferring currencies. The basic idea here is that Ripple is a low-cost, ultra-fast way of sending money across borders, and that has made Ripple a valuable partner for some very large financial services companies. Ripple, for example, has partnered with the likes of Western Union and MoneyGram International, and the current buzz in financial markets is that XRP could become an integration partner for the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa nations, which are looking to create a multi-currency payment network that does not involve the US dollar. Theoretically, at least, Ripple offers the sort of financial infrastructure that could make de-dollarization work. And that brings up a very interesting question: is Ripple going to cut ties with the United States entirely if the SEC lawsuit drags on? As a result of all the legal and regulatory headaches in the US market, Garlinghouse has repeatedly made the point that overseas destinations such as Dubai, Singapore, and Hong Kong are so much more attractive for crypto companies. He also told Bloomberg that 80% of the company's hiring is now coming from non-US markets. So, if you're thinking about investing in XRP, you need to be comfortable with the possibility that US-fueled growth is going to be limited at best. Now to the big question of the day: will Ripple cryptocurrency continue to exist even if Ripple loses the lawsuit? And how will the outcome of the lawsuit affect both parties? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings in the crypto space. The outcome of the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit could have far-reaching consequences for the crypto industry, as it could set a precedent for how other digital assets are regulated and classified by the SEC. If Ripple wins the case, it could pave the way for more innovation and adoption of XRP and other cryptocurrencies, as well as provide clarity and certainty for investors and developers. If the SEC wins the case, it could impose heavy fines and penalties on Ripple and its executives, as well as require them to register XRP as a security and comply with strict reporting and disclosure requirements. This could also affect other cryptocurrencies that may fall under the SEC's scrutiny and potentially stifle innovation and growth in the crypto space. So, will Ripple cryptocurrency continue to exist even if Ripple loses the lawsuit? Well, the answer is yes. Ripple holds an enormous amount of XRP and kept nearly 50% of the total supply in escrow. Ripple's nodes amount to 18% of the ledger's control. Meaning, even without Ripple, the other 28 UNL nodes can take decisions on the ledger and make changes. Exchanges and other businesses using XRP ran some of them. So, the cryptocurrency XRP can definitely easily survive no matter how the lawsuit ends. That doesn't mean we can completely rule out the SEC issue. SEC's lawsuit decides the future of Ripple. If the result is a win or a slap on the wrist for Ripple, it is good news. However, if the result is something that defines how Ripple can use the XRP and its business in the future, that could be good news or bad news. I know people believe XRP can be used for many things. But Ripple Labs was the only company that was lobbying countries across the globe and making partnerships with the largest banks. Without Ripple, it would take maybe more than a decade for other companies to bring mass adoption. With nearly 50 billion coins in supply, it needs trillions of dollars worth of daily volume, which can help to maintain the price or push it upwards. The only other way the price can go up without Ripple is by institutions keeping XRP in their portfolio as a long-term hold. With no mass adoption nearby, I doubt they would do that sooner. In short, XRP can survive without Ripple. But whether it can do things more than just surviving is in the hands of SEC lawsuit. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.